So just briefly moving on to the benefits. So there are several benefits to IRCA membership. From my PowerPoint here at the top of the screen, you will see a list of grades. So we've got associate auditor, internal auditor, auditor, lead auditor, principal auditor. And as you can see on the left-hand side, you do actually gain the majority of the benefits by being an associate auditor. The only difference is you will appear on the IRCA register as an associate auditor. You will still receive the IRCA card, but you won't have access to the IRCA logo. Apart from that, you will gain access to all of our learning resources, including our reports. So if you're looking for detailed reports on ISO standards, this is your go-to. You'll have access to our Quality World magazine online. For our development tools, you'll have access to our mentoring platform and our CPD tracker. And for networking, you'll have access to all of our branch events and special interest groups. We do have hybrid events, so things like our branch events are done both online and in person. So if you are an international watcher today, you can join our events online. I'm briefly just going to be going over the IRCA grades. So today's session will be mainly on the associate auditor, but we do have other grades that you can regrade to later on down the line. The main criteria for anyone that's doing the associate auditor is that they've undertaken one of our IRCA approved courses. And once you've completed a course, you can join as an associate auditor. Then when you undertake further audits, you can then regrade to our internal auditor and lead auditor grade. And for them, you would need to undertake several audits in order to meet the criteria and guidance for them. And as you can see on the screen here, it just lists what we need in terms of audits. So if you're thinking about regrading later on down the future, for internal audits, for instance, we need 5 internal audits. For the auditor grade, we need 4 full management audits, and you can see our day requirements here as well. And for lead auditor, you would need to meet the 4 full management system audits of the auditor, plus gain another 3 full management system audits as an auditor, as a lead auditor. I just briefly wanted to show you the other grade requirements so you know where to aim for later on down the line once you do become a member. Thomasine, is there anything that you want to add on benefits or our grade requirements?
Now is a good time actually to join, because Quality World magazine, the new edition, the winter edition, has just been released. So if you want to get it, hot off the presses, obviously digital, of course, yeah, now is a really good time. And again, if you're joining as an associate auditor with plans to develop your career as an auditor, then one of the really good benefits is the Quality Careers Hub, which can help you plan how you're going to become an auditor or a different type of auditor, something along those lines. Interview practice, you can redevelop your CV, and obviously there are jobs available on the Quality Careers Hub. So these are benefits that you would have access to just becoming an associate auditor.
Great, and I think the main thing on that as well was the IRCA register. So your name does go on the actual IRCA register itself, which you can find on the website, and that will also promote you as an auditor to the IRCA standard, i.e. you've been trained to a certain level. Just in terms of the benefits, a lot of people who have an extensive career in auditing, who have just undertaken a course, still apply as an associate auditor to start off with. They gain access to all the benefits, and then they upgrade their account as they go once they meet the audit requirements, as per the slide earlier.
Yes, this is because only audits conducted after the training can be included in your application. So even if you do have a lot of experience as an auditor, we can only take into account any audits that you've conducted after you've done the training that you are using in this application.
Great, thanks, Thomasine. So we're going to move on to the IRCA application form. It's fairly straightforward today for the Associate Auditor. For those of you that have not created an account yet, what you'll need to do is go to our website, which is www.quality.org. And on the top right-hand side of the page, there is a Join Now button. When you click that, you will create an account. And once you've created an account, you'll be taken to our online application forms. If you already have an account, you can start a new application by going to this Members Area tab, My Membership, and Apply for a New Membership. And this will take you to the Apply for a New Membership page. You click Join IRCA, and then it will give you a list of grades plus the criteria to meet all the grades. And then for this session, we're going to click Join Associate Auditor. The first page is just an overview of the application process. So it tells you how to get into your application. It also tells you more information about our fees. So you can see a link here, which says, please click here to see IRCA fees. If you click this tab, this will take you to our fees page. And if you put in your country, it will tell you what the fees are for your country. Please bear in mind there's an application fee and a membership fee. The application fee is to process your application, and the membership fee is the annual membership fee for your membership to go live. We get a lot of people join us for Associate Auditor who use the code if they've just completed the course, and that's on the application fee itself, not on the membership fee. But you can see more information on the fees by clicking on that link. Once you've given that a quick read, if you click continue with your application, and this will allow you to pick your scheme. Now your scheme will need to be to the course title. So for instance, if you've done a 9001-2015 course, you would click 9001-2015, and then you would put in your version as well, which would be 2015. You must have completed the latest version of the scheme that you're applying for. If you're unsure if your course is something that we would accept, our email address, which I will show later, is on the bottom of every page of the application form. You can email us your certificate and we can tell you whether or not we would accept it. And as you can see, our email address is here, which is applications@quality.org. Right, so the first page is the training and qualifications page. This is fairly straightforward. What we're after for you is your IRCA approved auditing course. Now, everyone that joins IRCA must have undertaken an IRCA approved auditing course, and they must have passed the course as well. Not just that, it must be a CQI IRCA approved course, so it must have our logo on the certificate. So do make sure that your course is IRCA approved when you apply. Again, any questions on courses, if you're unsure, our email address is here. What you will need to do is click Add New Training. And this will allow you just to type in the details of your certificate, i.e. your start date, your end date, your course title, for example, 9001-2015 Lead Auditor course, number of hours. We normally count 8 hours as 1 day. So if you've done a 5-day course, that would be 40 hours. Your training organisation name, your course outcome, i.e. did you attend it, complete it, or so forth. But remember, we can only accept completed certificates, and your UDN number, which will be in your certificate as well if you've done a recent course with us. Once you've entered those details, if you click Save and Continue, it'll add a line here. Just make sure that you do upload your certificate, and you will see an upload button at the top of the page where you can upload your certificate as well. Thomasine, anything on training and qualifications that we might have missed?
No, you haven't missed anything. Obviously, the course that you're using in this application, the certificate that you're using has to be the same grade that you're applying for, as Robert said. And the most important requirement is that the course is IRCA approved. It absolutely has to be. There are no allowances here. It has to be an IRCA approved course, and you have to have passed it.
Great, thank you. I can see someone has raised their hand. If you've got a question, please use the chat function or the Q&A function, and then we will answer your question for you. Just in terms of joining IRCA as well, you can, if you've undertaken, multiple lead auditor courses that are IRCA approved, you can join for multiple schemes as well and get your name on the register for several schemes, i.e. 9001, 27001 and so forth. But please bear in mind there is an additional membership fee to pay if you are to join for multiple schemes. So if you apply for 2 schemes, you would need to pay 2 membership fees, 3 schemes, 3 membership fees and so forth. If you just want to join just the one, but you have still done multiple courses, choose the one that you want to be promoted on for the register. Once you've added your course and typed in those details, if you click Mark Section Complete, that will allow you to move on to the next page, which is the work experience page. Thomasine, do you want to just go over the work experience section for everyone?
It is exactly how it says on the tin. We need to know when you started. We need to know if it's more than one job. We need to know when it ended. We need to know your job title, who you worked for. As you can see, it does ask it whether or not it's your current employer. Let us know. And most importantly, what it is that you do. So tell us everything that you think is relevant to your application. We want to know about your auditing experience, your work experience as a quality professional. That's what's relevant to us. Tell us this information. So as you can see, we need your start date, your end date, if it's a previous role or you're simply not working at this very moment, your job title, and you can see there, as I said, it asks whether or not this is your current role, name of the company, the industry that you're in, defense, manufacturing, so on and so forth, and again, your responsibilities. Be as detailed as you can, but of course, what's relevant to us is your auditing experience and your experience as a quality professional.
Great, thanks, Thomasine. We don't actually accept CVs in the work experience section, but you can copy and paste from your CV. So if you've got all this written down already, feel free to copy and paste the responsibilities from your CV to this section if you can't think of anything. The main thing is we just want to see an overview of your work experience and what you currently do. There are no requirements on work experience, but we do need you to fill out this part of the application form. Once you've completed that, if you click Mark Section Complete, and that will take you to the final part of the application process, which is the CPD section. Someone has asked if this webinar is done via different languages. Unfortunately, at the moment, we are only doing these in English, so apologies there. But if you do have any questions, feel free to email us and we'll try our best to Google Translate the answers for you. The last section of the form is the CPD section. So this is the continuing professional development section. Now, for this section, we look at a plan, do, checked, act cycle, and your CPD is all about your professional development goals. So, i.e., what are you looking to do over the next year or so in order to update your knowledge, improve within your current role. There are lots of different examples that we would accept from you, and we've got some examples that we can provide as well. When it comes to our CPD structure, you can find more information here. But at the moment, all we're looking at for is this plan section, i.e. what are you looking to do for the future? When it comes to keeping up your IRCA membership, you do need to fill out the rest of the section later on down the line. And we want to figure out and find out what you've done in terms of your professional development to make sure that you're keeping up to track, not only with your personal goals, but professionally as well. So it could be things like undertaking other courses that you're interested in doing, improving your knowledge in certain aspects or certain quality modules. It could be, developing your career and becoming a lead auditor. And I will show you some examples now. So if you click Add New CPD, it will come up with this page, which is Add CPD Activities. Now, the good news for associate auditors is you do have some examples to work from. So what you would need to do is click select an objective. And as you can see here, there are a list of objectives that you can choose from. So it could be things like developing your communication skills, i.e. learning another language. So, you can go abroad and do further audits. It could be regrading to another IRCA grade. So, if you're looking to become an auditor later on down the line, that's a professional objective that you can choose. It could be gaining audit experience if you don't have any, becoming an IRCA member for an alternative scheme. We've got understanding how to conduct remote audits if it's not something that you're already aware of. Or if you've been auditing for some time, it could be giving back to the IRCA community. So, volunteering, becoming a mentor. So there's a lot of examples here that you can use, if you've been in the field for some time or you're new to the auditing field. Once you click one, so say for instance, we want to improve my knowledge on the standard. So I want to know more about 9001 2015. I would then say that my start date will be next week, and I'm looking to complete this next year. And all of our CPD objectives must be in the future. So for now, I'm going to put the end of September. I'm going to create that CPD objective. And the only other field that you need to worry about is the planned activities field. So you can see here the rest are left blank. Leave them blank for now. That's for future. That's for the future. But the activities could be, reading our reports that you gain access to when becoming a member. It could be joining a special interest group. So we have an audit special interest group, and it could be networking with them and learning from other peers. Or it could be, watching our videos, using our e-library, and it gives you some activities that you can do. If you have your own activity, you can easily type that in as well. So, and delete them if they're not applicable to you. Or equally, you can add your own professional development objective if you don't agree with any of the ones that are given as examples. So this is all about your professional development and where you want to be in the future. Once you've picked your CPD objective, if you pick save and close, and what you'll need to do is we need 3 from you. So you would need to click add new CPD again, and then pick another 2. And as you can see from this example, we've done many webinars with different CPD objectives that we've used. So I'm seeing anything I've missed on the CPD section?
No, surprisingly, no. Rob did touch on it. We're looking for a minimum of 3. So don't feel that you can only pick 3. If you have 5, if you have half a dozen, if you have a dozen, let us know, because the CPD is important for this application and your membership going forward. You will need to maintain your CPD, as we put it, if you want to progress through the grades and if you want to maintain the grade that you're currently at. So it's a lot more important than perhaps it might seem on the surface. So it's about us knowing what you're doing to be the best possible quality professional that you can be.
Great, thanks, Thomasine. When you've got your 3 objectives, if you click mark section complete, that will take you to our declaration page. This is in essence just reading our code of conduct and just confirming everything that we've got here. So do give it a read. It's just also confirming that everything you're putting in this application is true. And once you're happy with that, if you click save and continue, that will move your application to the review stage. You can have a quick look over it before you proceed to the payment and submit your application. There is an opportunity to join the CQI as well via our dual membership page. We have 2 different memberships. Today we've been focusing on IRCA membership. If you would like to join the quality community and gain some post-nominals after your name, which will also appear on the register, and gain some further logos, you can do. There's a good read up here of the CQI and why become a practitioner, and you can click whether or not you want to become a dual member. Just bear in mind there is an additional membership fee to pay if you wish to go down this route, or if you just want the IRCA membership only, you can click that as well and click continue with IRCA membership. Again, there's a fees page here that you can click on so you can see what the fees are for the CQI. Once that's done, you're through to the cart page. And this is where you would need to either add in your promo code if you've recently completed the course, or pay your application fee. The application fee is non-refundable. However, if you followed our instructions, you've got your course, you've got your CPD objectives all in, you've got nothing really to worry about. We will always offer you a grade where we can. So the main thing is make sure you've got the course, because we can always help you once you've submitted your application, as long as you've undertaken one of those courses. Once you pay the application fee, it goes over to my team. My team do a pre-assessment, let you know if anything's missing, and then it gets sent over to an assessor. Thomasine, anything to add?
Yes, one last thing about the CPD, and in particular, it's the dates. Robert prompted me when he said, we will check to see if there's anything missing. And a mistake that is often made is that when people are submitting these applications, they give us examples of CPD that they've already accomplished. What we're looking for is what you plan to do in the future. So the target date should be a date in the future. So one way of thinking about it is whatever objective that you have, it should either start or even conclude within your first year of membership.
Great, thanks, Thomasine. Just a quick warning to everyone, get your questions in if you've got any questions. This webinar is due to end very shortly, so we will stay on the line and answer your questions as long as they're coming through. So please get them over to us. Just before I go over to the questions, I'll quickly just show my slide for our contact details. So our website here, it's quality.org. And also you will get a recording of this session afterwards. So if anyone wants to rewatch how to become an associate auditor, they can do. Our email address is applications@quality.org. So if you've got questions that you think of afterwards, feel free to email us and we'll get back to you. Or if you would like a phone call, our number is +44 for the UK, and it's 0207 245 8600. You want option 1 and option 1 to speak to my team. It's quite likely that you might speak to Thomasine.
It's very likely you'll speak to me.
Very quickly.